How y'all doing? I thought this week we would talk about, because we do these Toolbox talks every week and we get into some different elements. And I got to give a shout out to those people up there at Arc Mechanical and Brenda. Thanks for the new sweatshirt, outdoor wear in this cold temperature, coming in real handy. Thank you very much. I thought this week we would talk about PPE, and we discuss some PPE elements. It's the start of the year. It's a good time to start to think about restocking or re-looking at our PPE for the season, and specifically with you guys working indoors or doing stick building, it's a good time. I always turn around and pack myself a PPE bag, stuff I could possibly need out there on a job site. My first thing is we always got to have a good, stable hard hat. Good, stable hard hat. Make sure it's within the date. Hard hats tend to be good for about 5 years, but we want to check for chalking, check for cracks, check to see if anything's wrong with it, if we've damaged it in any way. The insert or the suspension system tends to be good for about 2 years, so you want to check that as well. Make sure it's still the nylon webbing in there is still capable of doing what it's supposed to do, absorb that impact, and just give it a good once over. Make sure it's okay. If it's not, let's get it replaced. My other piece, safety glasses. I always carry a couple pair of safety glasses, whether it's a tinted pair, a clear pair, somewhat adjustable. I make sure they're good, they're in good working order, and I make sure they're okay. I wear them whenever there is a chance that something could fly up, grinding, nail hammer, that type of stuff. I put them on just in case something should fly up. Now, glasses are really good for protecting your eyes. But when we start to think about it, there tends to be another layer. We want to check, make sure our face is protected as well. So I carry within my thing a face protector that I can use in those cases that glasses won't suffice, or if there's a chance that I could get some sort of spray or something up here on my face. Now, remember, when I'm wearing a face shield, when I'm wearing a face shield, I always want to have glasses on as well, so I make sure that nothing can come up around the face shield and get in my eyes. So I take particular time to make sure those are all in good order. They aren't too scratched up, because they do get scratched up. They aren't too scratched up, they aren't dirty, and I make sure they're in good shape, working order. My other piece is, and in this particular piece, we've all been trained to wear our face coverings, of course, but face coverings aren't respirators. So if I have to go to a respirator, I always want to have a respirator ready, handy, just in case. But remember, if you're going to a respirator, you want to make sure that you've been trained and properly qualified to wear that respirator at that given time. And when we start to look at respirators, make sure the filters are okay, they don't inhibit your breathing ability, the straps are all good, and nobody's modified or changed the respirator for other uses. So check your respirator over and make sure that's all okay. I always make sure I have some form of hearing protection, and when we start talking about hearing protection, we want to make sure within that hearing protection that we know how to put them on. Whenever you're using the earplugs, but before I say that, we want to make sure they cover us for the noise or the loudness of the noise, that they cover us for that. So I always check, these here are 32 dBs, and we will remove about 32 decibels from the surrounding noise around us. when we want to put respirators in or insert, and in these places, they're the foam plugs, and I want to reach around and I want to, twist it into my ear so that it actually secures itself and it does its job. Remembering that when I'm using those type or foam plugs, there is a deficit we have to take into account. Roughly, we don't put them in right, we talk, we do all this other stuff, and they work their way out. So after about 45 minutes, that 32 dB mark drops down somewhere around half. We figure somewhere around 16 dB. So those may not be adequate. If they're not adequate, then I have to shift to a set of hearing protectors that go right over, that you can get them now that attach to your hard hat. You can get them in the wrap type, the little wraparound pieces that come in, much like that just go on your ear, and they have a band that hold them in. So there's all different types of hearing protection, and use those that your company has issued to you. My other piece I like to talk about is gloves. Always use the proper glove for whatever it is you're doing. I mean, you guys working on furnaces, running electrical things, you would be using a specific glove for that piece. And again, check your MSDSs, your HAZCOM notes to see what is the correct glove. If you're doing some jackhammering or whatnot, you probably want some sort of ISO glove that protects you from the vibration. If you're pulling wire or working in and around electrical, you're probably going to want some sort of NFP 70 gloves that would protect you from those electrical hazards. So again, be mindful of the gloves you're wearing. And that kind of draws us through this PPE thing, quick, fast, and dirty, what we should be doing. Now in my PPE bag, just based on what we're dealing with on a daily basis and everything we're going through, I carry a couple other things. I always carry a couple extra face masks or face coverings. Always have a couple extra of those. In today's world, you can never be without one. Again, we're still practicing the social distancing and the wearing of face masks when we can't do that. Particularly when we're working, and I go back to some of you service guys, when we're working in and around those people that aren't necessarily within our circle of trust there. The other piece I carry within this is we can't go any place without our hand sanitizer. Mine here is Smuggler's Notch Distillery hand sanitizer, real good stuff, and I always carry a bottle of that. And then, of course, I throw in a little alcohol-free wipies, alcohol-free wipies, and again, I use alcohol-free for my wipies because I don't want to degrade any of the seals that we have either inside our respirators, inside our headgear, inside our or around our hearing protection, but I want to wipe them off before each use or attempt to. So I want to remind y'all where we are. I'm going to estimate and say we're midway through this pandemic and recovery from the pandemic. I want to remind you, when you're out in the world, when you're out doing service, when you're out calling on folks, you probably want to keep your mask up. I would definitely keep my mask up. I would keep my sanitizer and things. And I would put together protocols. When I'm in servicing things, it's not unusual for me to turn around and run some sort of tape or whatnot that identifies this is my working area and here's what I'm going to do. So again, I want to remind you, keep your masks up. Don't let your guard down. My name's Richard Wobby. I'm here with the Associated General Contractors. And I just want to say I'm here for you, and I'm here for you every day. If you have questions, if you have anything you'd like to know, please give me a call. It's 802-223-2374. I'll give you a heads up on two things we're actually doing right now. Starting probably within the next 30 days, we're going to be helping you all do your company safety days, because it's going to be hard. Because again, I think we're only about halfway through this pandemic recovery piece. It's going to be hard for us to gather for company safety days. So AGC is looking at some new ways, some different ways to deliver company safety days and to help you do that. More of that will be coming shortly. And then my other thing is, it's also the start of the year. And I would remind you all, start of the year, good time to take a look. Take a look at our audits from last year. Take a look at our safety plan, company safety plan. Are there pieces that have to be changed, updated? What do we have to do? So we will be here. We have some templates. We'll be here to help you. And I'm always here for you. My name's Richard Wobby. I'm with the Associated General Contractors. Give me a call anytime. Do not let your guard down. Keep your masks up. And I wish you all well. Have a good day. Thank you for listening. Bye now.